How's it going, YouTube lovers? This is the Gibble. I'm here. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm here to do another year in review. We are here at the end of 2024, and it has been a crazy year. Honestly, ended up way more packed with content than I ever anticipated, and it kind of almost got out of my control, but not in a bad way. I mean, there was a ton of animation reactions. I dedicated myself to doing monthly live streams. I had an entire month dedicated just to playing Five Nights at Freddy's games, and obviously, there's just so much more content. So today, we're going to go take a look back, walk down memory lane of this year, and go month by month and look at what were some of the biggest, streams and videos and things that happened on the channel over the course of this past year. In January, I started the year with a completionist run of Security Breach Ruin, the Five Nights at Freddy's game that ended up really becoming one of my favorite parts of the franchise, with introducing Cassie and everything like that. And that was such a fun live stream to do. I almost got through the whole thing without dying. Those glitchy little music men didn't get me. I would have gone completely deathless on the run as well, but went through, got every single gift, every single collectible, got the secret ending. It was a ton of fun to do. Another thing that happened that month was I uploaded a Sonic Origins video where it had levels that made me super nostalgic for when I first... The only other experience I had with Sonic before that, playing Sonic Origins or watching the movies, which was playing an educational version of Sonic on the Leapfrog Ditch. And those levels showed up in this episode of Sonic Origins from January, and just was really cool to actually have nostalgia for something playing those games. But I think the biggest thing that happened that month is the fact that that was the beginning of my regular animation reactions on the channel, which are now a huge part of the content that I make, some of the biggest content that I make on the channel as well. And January is when I started watching Murder Drones. Now, of course, my animation reactions, the first one I did was Digital Circus at the end of 2023, but Murder Drones is really what made me fall in love with indie animation in general and wanting to do a bunch of reaction videos, and it's still, I would say, my favorite indie animated series that I've watched so far. I've even got, up on the wall next to me here where I record, I've got the poster for the finale hung up right there, along with the Lackadaisy Season 1 poster, because I'm excited for that as well. But that was really the beginning of it. Was I started this month with Murder Drones, and it immediately hooked me, and now here we are with a ton of reactions and a ton of playlists for a bunch of different series. February, in terms of reactions, had some crazy highs and lows for what I was watching, because on the good side, we got our first look at Deadpool and Wolverine, and I reacted to a trailer for Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire. But then on the bad side, I had to endure the cringe that was the Megamind sequel trailer. No, I definitely did not watch that movie when it came out, and I have no plans to ever watch that movie, and I really hope I never have to react to something that cringy again. We got close with the Minecraft trailer, the first Minecraft movie trailer. It wasn't as bad as the Megamind one, but it got close, that's for sure. But on the gaming side, I feel like Apex was the biggest thing that was going on in February, because one, right before the end of the season that they had there, Respawn's just here's Crypto's Recolor Heirloom, just out of nowhere, no event, no announcement, just showed up in the shop. Luckily, I had shards saved up, so I was able to go ahead and claim it. I didn't even have to open anything, I just claimed it, and I did a very rare Apex video, because most of my Apex content is live streams these days, where I played with Creative and Ridge, and also rarely we got a win in our first game that we played of that video. It was just a really good day for me at that point. That was fun. And the other side of Apex, because that was right before the end of the season, new season started as the anniversary season, so I actually wailed on that one and got Mirage's Heirloom with the shards. I still have fun playing Apex from time to time, and I like doing streams right when the new season kicks off, because there's usually a burst of people playing at that as well, and there's new content to check out. But in general, the game is definitely slowing down for me a bit more. There's other games that I'm playing more of with my friends, but I still return to Apex from time to time. It's not totally dead for me yet. March featured an extra Saturday in its week, so I ended up uploading 3 videos on Spider-Man 2, including the one where we went from a Spider-Man v Spider-Man boss fight to Venom showing up and us playing as him. That game was really crazy to play, and I actually got to play it on a PS5 this time, unlike on PC like I did for the first 2 Spider-Man games. I also did some fun VR content that month with 2 different series finales. One on I Expect You to Die 3, which I love that series. Really looking forward to when the 4th game comes out. And then my other VR finale was on Bendy VR, which is a mod for the original Bendy and the Ink Machine. I had a ton of fun just the whole time with that series, being able to replay the game in a totally different perspective, just in using the motion controls for combat. I hope there's an official Bendy VR game one day. I would love to play that. Nintendo also released a demo for Princess Peach Showtime in this month, and I played it on the channel, and while it had some fun moments, it definitely felt lacking, and from what I never ended up playing the full game when it came out, but from what I heard, that is exactly what it ended up being. It was nowhere near as, like, well thought out and thorough in terms of gameplay compared to something like, say, Luigi's Mansion, which I love a bunch, but, that's unfortunate, but I still had fun playing the demo. But anyway, my live stream that month was a really fun one. I played the full game of Superliminal, the puzzle game that is all about perspective, and I'm really proud that I only had to look up an answer once. The whole time I was like, okay, it's taking me a bit, but I can figure it out. There was only one puzzle where I need to look up the answer, and it's because I never would have guessed it. It had to do with, like, what direction you looked is the side that got blocked off before you could advance, and I never would have figured that out, but proud of myself that that's the only time I ever need to look anything up on that stream. And then, other thing that happened that month that was cool was the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse short, The Spider Within, was released, and I reacted to that. I had to do a little more editing than I usually do for my reactions, because I tend to react to either trailers or indie stuff, which doesn't have too much copyright issue. This one definitely had some, so I had to work on it a bit, but in general, it was a really, really well put together short, and it kind of reawakened my childhood arachnophobia as well, because some of those scenes were just creepy. In April, I got to check out an update for Demeo Battles from Resolution Games. Thank you again to them for providing me early access to the update, so I was able to record a video. And I know I've said this before, like, I want to play that game again. I really do, but as y'all have seen in my schedules I've released for my channel, I have so much that I'm doing right now, and there's not really room to fit one of those videos in there, but if there's a chance, I will absolutely play that again, because I thought I was finally getting the hang of it with that second update there. And then with reactions in April, I finally caught up to where Murder Drones was, because episode 7 released right as I was releasing my episode 6 reaction. So I watched episode 7, which was my favorite episode of the series, and oh man, I'm really gonna miss that show. It was really, really fun. But because I was caught up with Murder Drones at that point, April's also the month that I started watching Hello Neighbor, Welcome to Raven Brooks, and that was my big return to the Hello Neighbor franchise, and now it is back to being an integral part of my channel. I played Hello Neighbor 2 since then. I'm playing Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue right now. I've reacted to Season 2 of Raven Brooks. I'm going to react to Season 3 when it comes out. I want to play some of the other Hello Neighbor games. It's fully back on the channel now, and those videos have done incredibly well in terms of view count and comments and stuff, so thank you all for the support on those, seriously. This month I also had the start of one new series and the end of an existing one. I had the emotional finale of Spider-Man 2, which took me a long time to record. It still ended up being a super long video. That final boss was really tough. But then a new series that I started was on Another Fisherman's Tale, the sequel for A Fisherman's Tale. I didn't end up liking that game as much as the first one, but I still enjoy, like, the whole idea of, like, really weird mind-bending puzzles in VR, and I'm thinking we may get more of that one day, because they actually, on Steam, since I uploaded that series, they went on Steam and they changed the name of the game from Another Fisherman's Tale to A Fisherman's Tale 2, which makes it sound like they want to release A Fisherman's Tale 3 at some point, so maybe it'll follow Nina as the main character, but we'll see what happens with that. Another thing that happened that month is that JoJo Studios dropped Secrets of the Machine out of nowhere. Is that free, basically like cycle, like miniature cycle of a bendy game that was mainly about promoting their upcoming projects, like, you know, Lone Wolf and Bendy 3 and things like that. But there was a little bit of a story that you could follow along with the character that you're playing as, and I found that really fascinating. And it's very likely I'm going to play The Cage when it comes out, but I will say that I am a bit concerned about that one, because it sounds like I really hope that they don't make it dark for the sake of dark. Meatly is assured that the tone they take in the games is appropriate for the story they're telling, but I'm just a little wary, because they've just gone over and over again, like, oh, this is going to be dark, this is going to be dark, this is going to be violent. Like, one of the things that threw me off was, there's going to be blood. I'm like, in this series, it's not too unreasonable. Like, Secrets of the Cage itself had a little bit of blood in it, but considering that The Cage is supposed to take place in the same cycle as Dark Revival, like, at the same time, there was no blood in Dark Revival, so it makes no sense, in my opinion, for there to be blood in The Cage. But we'll see what happens. And speaking of Dark Revival, that was the live stream that month. Is I replayed Dark Revival, but I played it on hard difficulty for the first time. Replayed the whole game. I really do love that game. Audrey's my favorite character of the franchise, and I really, really hope we see her again in Bendy 3, considering, like, you know, how big of a part of the story she is. May, of course, has Star Wars Day on May the 4th, and for my Star Wars Day special this year, I played Star Wars Squadrons, the opening missions, in VR, which I have to say, that game is not optimized for VR at all. That was genuinely one of the only times I have ever gotten motion sick playing a VR game. I'm pretty good about motion sickness in general, especially with VR. No, that was just horrible. They did a terrible job with the VR mode of that game. But luckily, though, I had plenty of fun stuff that didn't give me motion sickness, such as my reaction videos, plenty of indie animation to react to, including some new content that released, such as the new episode of The Amazing Digital Circus. It was the second episode, and it was better than the first one, but I still wasn't quite all in on the show yet at that point. But another thing that released that month was the first mini episode for Lackadaisy Season 1, which was Lackadaisy Ingenue, and it was so beautifully animated. I really loved how it was telling some of the backstory of the characters, and I'm really looking forward to get to react to, you know, the full episodes of Season 1, and there's also supposed to be 2 more mini episodes coming at some point. So I'll definitely be reacting to those when those start coming out next year. Again, animation takes time. They can take as much time as they want. I'm just absolutely going to react to it when it comes out. My stream for the month was another Apex stream because a new season began and a new legend was released, so I played as Alter for the first time, and I still really enjoy her character. I still play as her from time to time when I'm playing the game. Again, I just wish they'd put a little more emphasis on the storytelling on it. It just definitely feels like EA overhead on everything on that game now. But also, I had 2 series come to a conclusion, and I started 2 new series this month. Which, again, talking about May here, it was Minecraft Legends. I finished that series, and I'm so disappointed that that game ended up the way it was. I was really excited to try it out because how much I enjoyed Dungeons, but Legends just never quite worked for me. And I wish I could say I was surprised that it got shut down so quickly, but I'm not. And I hope that it doesn't deter them from having story-based games. I just hope that they do a better job with the implementation of storytelling in the future. And then the other series finale that I had that month was Help Wanted 2. Which is my favorite game in the FNAF series. Again, VR works really well for that whole franchise. But that's where I got the secret ending, the Princess Quest ending of the game, and it was, seriously, I love that game. I still go back and replay it from time to time just because of how fun the mini games are in it. But then like I said, I ended those 2 series, and 2 more series immediately took their place. I started playing through the mod Portal Revolution, which I ended up really, really loving, and I'm looking forward to playing more mods on Portal, of course, because Portal 2 is my favorite game. And then the other series I started was Hello Neighbor 2, where I got lost immediately in the first episode and got almost nothing done until the second episode. Because that game gave me no instructions at all. It did things better than the first game, but it also did a lot of things worse than the first game. I will definitely leave it at that for now, but I'm curious what they're going to do with Hello Neighbor 3. It's kind of sad that they're not going to finish Hello Neighbor 2. But with the original creator of the franchise back, I'm curious how Hello Neighbor 3 is going to turn out. In June, the mobile Switch game Star Wars Hunters finally released. I've been very much looking forward to that, and I did a video playing it with Ridge and Chupa. Seriously, that was a ton of fun, and apparently it's releasing on PC now. They're doing like betas on Steam, and it's going to have like enhanced visuals and things like that. So I'll definitely keep playing this game because I actually quite enjoy it. Other things that happened this month is that I started a co-op Let's Play of Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator, aka FNAF 6. But it was a co-op Let's Play because I actually had my mom playing it with me. She would manage the pizzeria part of it, where it was actually like a pizzeria simulator, and then I would play the office section and the salvage minigames, the more horror-focused thing. I had a really, really good time doing that series, and she really enjoyed that game as well. So I'm looking forward to doing more co-op stuff with my mom going forward. Probably do more one-offs than full series like I've done in the past, but there are a few couch co-op games and things that I would like to do, absolutely. I ended up actually streaming twice in June, which became pretty much a pattern for a lot of the months going forward, because I finally dipped my toes into Hypixel Skyblock, and I'm surprised at how much I'm having fun with it. I unreasonably hated it when it got first added just because it made Skywars lag so much, and that was the main mode I was playing at the time. But I'm having a blast in Skyblock now, and I'm still playing, like, grinding through some resource collection and challenge grinding stuff off camera, but I plan to keep this as a monthly series going forward. And the other stream I ended up doing that month was not planned originally. It's because they released Lifeline's Prestige skin, and I finally caved and said, okay, I'll get this one. My first Prestige skin in Apex ended up being Lifeline's. So I ended up doing a stream on that where I bought the skin and played a few games as her and had a lot of fun. And then the other things that happened this month was that I wrapped it up with a couple of Switch videos. One is I started my Let's Play on Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Again, I love Luigi's Mansion 3. Very excited that I got to play the second game on Switch. Hopefully they'll remake or remaster the first game one day so that I can play that on the channel as well and have that be my first reaction to it. And then the other Switch video I did was a very, very, very rage-induced Mario Party Superstars video with Ridge, Chupa, and Ches, where I could have gotten a star at the end, but I was one roll short. Man, Mario Party is such a brutal game. In July, I had a ton of variety in the animation reactions I did. First, I finished up Season 1 of Welcome to Raven Brooks, and was even more excited for the second season because of how they were teasing the guest. I also reacted to Cliffside, the pilot episode from Liam Vickers, the creator of Murder Drones. I still go back and watch Cliffside, rewatch Cliffside from time to time. I know that Liam basically said it was just more of a proof of concept to say this is what I can do as a storyteller and an animator, but I would love to see him return to that world one day because I love those characters. Cordy is just awesome. And then the other thing that I reacted to that month was the beginning of Season 1 of Meta Runner, Glitch's first show, and now we're very close to finishing up. Next month I'm going to be uploading my reaction to the finale of Meta Runner Season 1, and then my plan is in February I'm going to start up Season 2, and I am fully invested in this story now. I'm really glad I've started watching it. The stream this month was Fall Guys, and I actually got a win on stream. I basically streamed until I got a win. I had a lot of fun. That is something I would love to have as an occasional return to at some point, because it is actually a fun game. It's goofy, yes, and the player base has definitely fluctuated around from when it started, but it's a fun game. I definitely would love to do more on that. And speaking of stuff that I'd love to do more of, I was lucky enough to get into the beta of Marvel Rivals back this summer, and so I got to play it with Ridge. And other than some performance issues that I had, which the game still has them, let's be honest, the game is very badly optimized, I had so much fun with that game. And I would absolutely love to do a stream on it one day, if figuring out the scheduling and things like that. But for now, I will probably just keep uploading occasional highlights because it does capture them the same way Overwatch does, so they're really easy to get easy shorts and clips up on the channel. August. This month was packed. I had 3 series finales with Sonic Origins, Another Fisherman's Tale, and Portal Revolution, and also Sonic Origins wrapping up then was perfect timing because that's when we also got our first trailer for Sonic 3, so I can react to that. I had 2 more live streams with a new Apex season starting and another Skyblock stream because that is, like I said, that's now a monthly series. And then also August, not only was it my channel anniversary, which was a ton of fun to do with the compilation for, as it always is, it was also Five Nights at Freddy's 10th anniversary. So there was 5 Laps at Freddy's, and there was Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit, which ended up being a full series, and I loved that game. I would love to see Scott do more with that studio. There's just so much happening all at once. My channel's my first Let's Plays anniversary is also the same day that Five Nights at Freddy's released. Different schedule, obviously. I started after Five Nights at Freddy's released, but same day on the calendar. So that was just a packed, I think I uploaded every day for a solid week or something like that when that whole mess was going on. Especially with all the reactions that I had going on. I had Meta Runner. I had the Murder Drones Intermission fan episode. I had the actual series finale of Murder Drones, which made me cry, and it was also the first time that I actually uploaded a new reaction the same night that I watched it, as opposed to uploading it the next day, and that has now become the pattern going forward for all of my reactions to new content that I'm watching. I just did it with Cassini, I'm doing it with Digital Circus episodes and things, and I'm going to keep doing it for Lackadaisy. So when there's an animated thing that I'm interested in that comes out, I will probably be uploading it that same night, so it's really fun that, Murder Drones is the one that started that whole trend for me. September, I actually ended up having 3 live streams. I had Of course, more Skyblock. I played Risk of Rain 2 for the first time, which was also really fun. That's another game I'd love to go back to one day. And I ended up, surprise reaction stream, it was Minecraft Live 2024. And I watched that live, much better than the previous ones, and they said they're going to be doing these more frequently. So I'm thinking I might end up doing 2 of these reaction streams next year. We'll see what happens with that, but it did sound like because they're doing smaller focused updates that we're going to have the Minecraft Live events more frequently. So probably more reaction streams more frequently from me as well. I also had a really fun one-off video this month where I had my mom play Aperture Desk Job. Basically it was a tech demo for the Steam Deck, but it also was a genuinely fun entry into the world of Portal. Please make another Portal game, Valve. You can leave Chell alone. You don't have to make Portal 3. Let her story be done. There's just so much you could do with Aperture Science. Just do something else. Have GLaDOS, have it be in the past, maybe, when GLaDOS is activating. You could have us play as Ratman as a prequel or something like that. I would love that. Or just another corner of the facility with some other robots that we can play as or something. Just give us more Portal. I will play it. I will play a remake of Portal 2 as well if you do that. Like, remake it in Source 2 or something. I'm there day one for that, seriously. But this month also had a couple of series finales. I finished Hello Neighbor 2 after a long thing of getting a really frustrating ending and then playing through increasingly frustrating DLCs. I played the whole Patch 9 section with the guest, and that was fantastic. It's such a shame we're not going to get Patch 10 for that game because it seems like it would have gone more in that direction, and that was a genuinely fun and interesting part of the game, and I felt like it took me a little bit to figure out what to do, but the puzzles weren't super frustrating. It was just figuring out what the mechanics were. And then the other finale I had this month was Pizzeria Simulator with my mom, and we got the ending that I was going for. Fortunately, we were one minigame off from getting the really good ending, the one that has the extra scene at the end where it shows all the gravestones on the hill, but we did get the final cutscene with Henry's speech, and that was the one I was going for anyway, so I'm very happy with how that whole series wrapped up right there. I also released a reaction to Internation Cube, another one of Liam Vickers' projects, which I was more confused and partially disturbed by when I watched it the first time, but on rewatches I've grown a lot more fond of it, and definitely would love to see him return for an episode 4 and more stuff like that. But again, take as much time as you need on your rest, Liam, but know that people are anxiously waiting your return and when you're going to tell more stories. And I was also reacting to more Meta Runner that month as well, so it wasn't just Internation Cube. That was, I crammed all the parts into one video, but Meta Runner I kept pacing out an episode per reaction. And then also Epic Mickey Rebrushed released that month, and I started my Let's Play on that. I am having a lot of fun playing. Again, I played it on the Wii, but I never finished it because 1, Wii version was much more difficult, and 2, I sucked at video games when that game came out nearly 10 years ago. So I'm much better at video games now, and the controls are better, so I'm really having fun with that, and I'm going to keep playing until I get to the end of the game. We're going on a paint-only run here, basically trying to see if we can get a good ending out of it, and I think it's working out pretty well. October was, of course, no, not just October, it was the month of FNAF, and that was such a really fun thing to do, theming a whole month. I hadn't done it since the month of Superhot, and it was really perfect for the spooky season to focus it all on FNAF. I did 4 live streams that month, one for each of the 4 original games, my first time playing the original versions of them and not the VR versions of them. I actually was doing really well on the first 2. Then 3 and 4 just got so much more difficult, and 4 was absolutely terrifying as I expected it to be. That first jump scare from Bonnie really got me good. Seriously. But again, everything was FNAF that month, so I also had a full 3-part series playing the Curse of Dreadbear DLC for the first Help Wanted game. I ended up having to go to flat mode to finish it just because I think the game was glitched out before and not giving me all the keys, so I was like, I'm done with VR, I'm just going to switch to flat mode to finish it. Then I also did another episode of Into the Pit. I wasn't done with it quite yet, but it's such a fun game, so of course I did that. And I also did a video where I played Security Breach, the first part of it, but with a VR mod, which was laggy as all get out, which is why I didn't play it further. I was hoping that I could at least get through the daycare section and get to the atrium, and didn't end up working out quite that way, but I got to see the lobby in full glory in VR, got to have Chica jump scare me right off the bat like she did when I first started playing the game. It was a lot of fun. Again, VR is Steel Wool's bread and butter, so I'm really looking forward to see what they have cooking for Secret of the Mimic, that's for sure. But even with all of this FNAF going on, reaction videos continued because The Amazing Digital Circus released episode 3, which is my favorite episode so far. The 4 we've gone, it's the one that truly finally hooked me on the series. Kinger ended up being like my favorite character out of nowhere. I never would have seen that coming. But then also, Hello Neighbor, Welcome to Ravenbrook Season 2 started, and it started releasing weekly episodes, so I was releasing weekly reactions to that. And my Episode 3 reaction, which I'm glad it is, because that's my favorite episode of the show so far, did incredibly well. Thank you all for the support on this, all my reactions to that, honestly, in general. But Episode 3's reaction in particular, that video is actually closing in on 10,000 views last time I checked. Like, that's mind-boggling to me. It's going to be my first reaction video to get 5-digit view count. That's absolutely crazy. Thank you all again for the support on that. But in general, October was a wonderfully spooky month this year. November had some really fun stuff for the channel specifically, not just the videos I made, but the channel as a whole. Because one, right at the beginning of November, my channel hit 3,000 subscribers, and I got to do the Meet My Dogs vlog video, which was a ton of fun. They didn't like that I was dragging them around when they wanted to be on the couch napping, but it was really fun to you can hear my dogs in the background of some of my videos from time to time, like whether it's jingling their collar or barking at something, probably air. But it was really fun to introduce them in a video like that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for next subscriber milestones, but I'll figure out something when we get there. It'll take a bit, I'm sure. But then the other thing for my channel that I started doing is that YouTube finally let people start uploading custom thumbnails for playlists. And so I've been working on that. I still have more to do, but I've gotten a bunch done. I've been trying to do them bit by bit, so that every playlist, even for series that are older, that had the honestly thumbnails that I made in PowerPoint initially, I'm planning to go back and redraw the thumbnails for the playlist specifically, so that they all look pretty cohesive and honestly look nice when they're all in rows on my playlist tab or on my home tab for my channel. But then this month, again, those are the channel things. Still had a bunch of content that I did, including starting the finale of Into the Pit. That was a lot of fun way to kick it off. It was almost like the month of FNAF bled into November a bit, which I was totally okay with. I also did more Apex and Skyblock live streams, the usuals for live streams on this channel. And I watched the finale of Hello Neighbor, Welcome to Ravenbrook Season 2, because with the weekly releases, originally they were going to drop 3 episodes on Halloween. I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do it. I'll react to all of them. And I'm grateful they pushed those last 2 episodes into November, gave me more time to actually focus on the other content that I was doing and not have to rush through the reactions. And I actually watched the finale as it was premiering, which included the announcement for Hello Neighbor 3 at the end, and that was really fun. I'm seriously looking forward to Season 3. I believe that's currently planned to be the last season of the show, and with the cliffhanger that we got, I'm looking forward to see how they're going to wrap the whole story up. I also did another Mario Party video, this time with Super Mario Party Jamboree, and I still didn't win, but I did much better than I did in the Superstars video, and I had a lot more fun. Pro Rules, I feel are a better way to play Mario Party, so I'd definitely be down to do another video like that with my friends in general, but I'm probably just going to play it anyway, just because it's super fun, and I finally get to have my girl Pauline in the game. You know how much I love that. But then I also reacted to another one of Liam Vickers' projects. There's just so many of those on the channel at this point, and this was Let's Split Up. It was just a little animation that he did, but thank you to everyone in the comments who let me know that there was actually an unlisted video called Let's Split Up Sequence 3, and I am going to be reacting to that, and as you might have seen in my schedule that I revealed just a couple days ago, that will be going up next month, and I found a fan dub of the Sequence 3 to watch, so I will have audio for it as well. And after that, again, I've got a bunch of other animation reactions, like I said, that I'm doing with regular Meta Runner, but I would love to find time to react to some of the spooky stories, scary story time with Liam. I think that's what it's called. Hold on, I'm looking this up. I keep forgetting what it's called. I'm literally going to Google this right now. I keep forgetting the name of the channel. Why is it so hard for me to remember? Scary Story Time with Liam. Gosh, why do I keep forgetting that? But I've gotten plenty of recommendations on my videos saying which ones that I should watch, and I'm going to be checking out. I think Design is the one that I saw mentioned the most, so I'll probably be starting with that one. But there's others on there I'll probably react to. They are audio stories, not full animations or animatics, so it's gonna be a little bit different how I react to it. I'm still figuring that part out, but I probably will watch it eventually. Then for the end of November, I started 2 new series. the Entropy Center, and Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, which is the VR game made by Steelwool. I'm enjoying both of those games a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they both wrap up, so those are going to keep going forward into the new year. I made sure not to slow down for this past month where we had the end of 2024 with December. I had a bunch of reactions, including Port by the Sea, which I loved. I really hope there's going to be more. Episode 4 of The Amazing Digital Circus, which, it was alright. I just don't think Gankel's that strong of a character. The Superman trailer came out. I really hope that movie's good. I'm hopeful with what I've seen so far. And Chapter 1 of the animation Cassini, which was beautiful. I love the art style of that. Looking forward to when Bing Bang releases Chapter 2 and everything going on. She said it's the start of a long journey, so that's just going to be eventually a full series on the channel. Just gotta wait to see when those are released. I also actually did another video on FNAF Help Wanted 2 because during Dawko's charity live stream, Steel was like, hey, update for Help Wanted 2. It's dropping in a few days. Have fun. And it ended up being a big teaser for their next game, Secret of the Mimic, and I went through and I found all the hidden puzzle pieces. I unlocked like Jackie the Clown as a character on there. It was really, really cool, and I'm so excited for Secret of the Mimic, but I'm not looking forward to being chased by Jackie because she is so much bigger than I expected her to be. That animatronic is like 12 feet tall, I swear. But then I also did a couple of live streams, of course Skyblock as well, but I also did a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe stream, which is something I wanted to do as a December stream since I started doing monthly streams this year, and while for some reason console streaming is really glitchy for me, and that's happened with my PlayStation streams as well. When I was playing Ratchet and Clank, it would like disconnect and reconnect and be like laggy at times like that, which is unfortunate, so I'm probably going to stick to PC-based games for streaming going forward. I'm still glad I did it. I did that with Ridge on stream with me, where we're basically just hopping into public lobbies and having fun. But I finally did that stream. That was great, and hopefully there'll be more Mario Kart stuff that I could do in the future, because, I mean, the DLC was great. I'm hoping that there's going to be something when the Switch 2 comes out that will give us even more Mario Kart goodness. But then a couple other videos I wanted to mention for December before I wrap this up was that I started playing the VR game Clone Drone in the Hyperdome, the sequel to Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. I loved playing that game originally, and the VR one just translated the whole voxel destruction system super well. I will be changing the display of the game in my videos. When I recorded episode 1, I did the whole thing where I'm a little tiny camera in the corner. It's this corner, actually, from your perspective. But then like the game was like full screen, but that just made it look way too zoomed in, and the game by default launched in a square aspect ratio for some reason. It's the only PC VR game that I've been playing that has done that. So for future episodes, I'm going to be using the same format that I do for my Native Quest videos that I've recorded in the past, where my webcam takes up more of like the actual like third-ish side of the screen, and then the game takes up a square on the other side. So not too much a big, but it will make it look less zoomed in, and you'll be able to see more of the game. And then the last like big video I want to talk about that I did, which I'm really happy with, was my Eve's Book Club video on the Book of Bills. The second one I've done. I've been very slow on this, literally like a year apart, I think, basically from my FNAF trilogy to the Book of Bill video. But there's a bunch that I want to do. Like I said, Bendy will be next. I will talk about the Bendy novels next in that series, and there appear to be Hello Neighbor books that I think I might want to check out, and maybe do a couple of Eve's Book Club videos talking about those. And who knows, I'm going to look at other books that I could do. I want to keep them like super nerdy and things like that, so maybe I'll check out like the Thrawn Star Wars trilogy of books, because Thrawn is a really interesting character. But I'm really glad that I got to do another book club video on that. It took me a few recordings to get it done because my audio kept glitching out, but I had a lot of fun making that video. So there you have it. That was my year in review, looking back at 2024, and I'm very excited to keep my content up in 2025. I want to keep doing monthly live streams, probably keep doing more Skyblock. Those may slow down if I start getting into more late game stuff that requires more time to grind for things. I want to start playing Sonic Frontiers on live streams. That's going to be fun. I'm absolutely going to be reacting to, like I said, Meta Runner Season 2. I'm going to start that in February. And Secret of the Mimic. That is a big game I'm looking forward to next year that I'm going to do a series on. Again, it seems like it's going to be a flat mode or VR. Like, it's going to release with both, based on the PlayStation Store page. I will probably play it in VR because I think that just enhances the game so much, and VR is a real staple of what Steelwool is able to do, so I'm looking forward to that. And I didn't really mention it too much throughout this video, but I will keep uploading shorts of my review the I Just Saw reviews of different movies and shows as those come out. I have a lot of fun being able to do that. You know, my mom is basically my camera woman for those, which is really fun. So I will keep those going as I watch new releases. But that was 2024. That is going to do it. I had a lot of fun in 2025. We're getting really close. This is my 9th year of making YouTube content regularly, which means that we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary, and I'm already starting to think of what I'm going to do to make that anniversary, which won't be until 2026. Super, super special, but I am really looking forward to it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please drop a like and a comment down below if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all in the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye, guys!